What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going through Avatar Nutrition, which is the app that I use inside of the Physique Lab Coaching Program with all of my clients. So inside of this video, you're going to get a complete walkthrough from setup and how to use all of the features. I'll be honest with you guys, I was hesitant to release this just because I know how important the nutrition side of things are when it comes to your weight loss journey. And I was worried that if I release a video like this, you guys are going to know exactly what to do to lose this weight, and then my business will not have any more clients. But as I prayed about this, God really convicted my heart and said, Tyler, isn't that why you're in this business in the first place? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Yes, I do this for a living. Yes, my coaching program is how I make an income. But at the end of the day, I'm in this business to make an impact and change people's lives. And if I can do that through a simple video like this, then I am certainly willing to do that. And the way I see it is that there's going to be three types of people after watching a video like this. The first one is going to be someone who watches it, they implement everything that I talk about inside of this video, and they end up getting the weight loss result on their own, which if you've done that, congratulations, I am so happy for you. The second type of person is also going to implement, but as they're learning about the nutrition side of things, they're going to quickly realize what's offered inside of the program and what it is they're missing on their weight loss journey. Things like what to do when it comes to your fitness, having a community of supportive guys around you, and then also that extra accountability to make sure that you're actually doing what you need to. Because just because you now know how to use this app doesn't mean you're actually going to follow through and track your calories and macros. And then there's the third type of person who's going to watch this video. They're going to do their best to implement everything that I described inside of the video, but they're going to be feeling lost along that journey and still not know exactly what to eat in order to hit these calories and macro targets. So if after watching this video, you fall in that second camp or that third camp where maybe you still want help with the training side of things, maybe you're lacking that accountability, maybe you want that supportive community of guys around you to make sure that you actually get across this finish line, or if after watching the video, you still feel absolutely lost and you want a mentor to guide you through this process, then here is what we can do. I have a video here on my YouTube channel that explains the Physique Lab Coaching Program in extreme detail. So what I'll do is I'll put that thumbnail right down below in case you go looking for it, so you know what to look for. And I'll also link it as a time card somewhere up there. So you can go ahead and click on that up there, and I'll also put it in the video description below. Other thing that will be linked down in the video description as well is going to be my calendar. So honestly, I would recommend watching that video first. And then if you feel like the Physique Lab Coaching Program is one, a good fit for you in terms of culture, and two, you believe it's going to help you reach your goals, then what you can do is come back to this video description and click on my calendar link and go ahead and book in a 45-minute call with me. Promise, it's not going to be some high pressure sales call. I genuinely just want to get to know you, see where you're at currently, where it is you're wanting to get to, maybe what you've tried in the past, and then see if we can come up with a game plan to help you get there. Even if you don't end up joining the Physique Lab Coaching Program, I promise you will walk away from that call with a ton of clarity and a ton of value. One last note before we dive into it, I do want to let you know that I originally recorded this for my online membership portal and it was going to be for clients only, but I'm now posting it on YouTube to help others as well. So if you hear anything about the program or the check-in process and things like that, that is why that is in there. But without further ado, let's get into it. In this video, we are going to be going over how to set up the calorie calculating weight loss robot, or in other words, the Avatar Nutrition app. So I want to give you an overview of how the app actually works. From there, we'll walk through the setup process, and then I'll show you how to use the everyday features. So that way, once you hop onto the app, you feel comfortable and confident in tracking your food. Hopefully you watched the last video lesson and you have a pretty good understanding of what Avatar Nutrition actually is, but I still want to give you a general overview of how the app works. So each week is going to give you calorie and macronutrient targets. You go into the app, you track your calories and macros, which we'll show you how to do later on in this lesson. But from there, each time you go to do your check-in, the system is going to recognize how many calories you ate, and then it's going to see what happened to your weight, and it's going to adjust your calories for the upcoming week to make sure that you are losing weight at the appropriate rate that we go through during the setup process. Something that's important to note is that the calorie calculating weight loss robot will only give you new calories and macros for the upcoming week if you were compliant with your calories and macros from the previous week. So it's extremely important that you are diligent in tracking your food and hitting those targets. The reason being is because if you mark non-compliant at check-in time, the robot doesn't know if you were 2,000 calories over or 2,000 calories under, and obviously that is going to have a huge impact on what your weight is doing that week. So that's why it's extremely important to hit your targets within this app. With that introduction and overview out of the way, I'm actually now going to walk you through the setup process and just show you how to use all of the cool features within this app. So I'm going to scooch over and throw a pop-up of my phone over here. So to start, you should get an email that looks a little something like this, most likely on this Sunday after you decide to join the program, just because whatever day you set up this app, that is going to become your default nutrition check-in day. And I prefer having people do that on Sundays because that way you get new calories and macros for the upcoming week. So when we're going through this, we're just going to click on the App Store. It's going to take us to the app. So I already have this downloaded. So I'm just going to click open. And then from there, I'm going to say not a member yet, sign up. So then I'm going to click I understand. It's not medical advice. I need some basic information. Okay, so we're going to choose your gender. And then I'm going to put in, I'm just going to make up some numbers here. So let's say I'm 190 pounds. Okay. I'm going to say I am 5'10". Done. So now it's going to ask you to pick your body fat percentage, which you should have done already when you went through the onboard checklist. So whether that's using the tape measure, 3-site caliper, 7-site caliper, or you can just click one of these and enter in whatever the Bluetooth scale was saying. So if you do the visual estimator, this one, you can kind of like scroll back and forth and sort of see what your body looks like and just pick that. Or if you have the tape measure, you can go in and enter those metrics. Same thing with the 3-site caliper. So let's just say, put in my age. I'm just going to make up some numbers here. So we'll say 21, 22, and then our thigh, we'll go with 26. Okay, let's see what that body fat is. Okay, cool. So we're at 20%, 20.2% in this example. So now it's asking us what our goal is. We're gonna go ahead and click weight loss. Now, this step is arguably the most important step because we are setting our weekly rate of weight loss. And if you don't know how to calculate this, please go back to the onboard checklist, click the weight loss cheat sheet, and then there's some recommendations in there. But I'll just remind you, you do not want to go over 1% of your body weight per week, just because one of our goals here is to make our body a calorie burning machine, even when we're not working out. And the way that we do that is by building muscle. And if we lose more than 1% of our body weight per week, we are limiting the muscle that we are going to put on our bodies. So for this example, I'm 190 pounds. So let's just say I'm going to go up to like 1.7. So you can see as I scroll across, it tells you what your hunger level is going to be. So you can pick whatever you want here, but I would suggest, again, between 0.4% to 0.8% of your body weight per week. So let's just go with 1.7. So we'll click continue. Target weight, let's say I want to get down to 170. I want to lose 20 pounds. So I'll click done. And then it's going to ask me how active I am. I'm pretty active. Let's just say, let's go moderately active in this example since we're given some hypotheticals. How often do you intensely exercise? Let's say I do light activity. So you can scroll through these and see which one goes along best with your lifestyle, but I'm just going to pick lightly active. And then let's see. So this is going to ask you what your experience with tracking macros is like. So I'm just going to say somewhere in the middle. I've done it a little bit before, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not a pro or an expert. And then it's going to ask you your food restrictions. So, if you have any allergies or vegetarian, vegan, thing like that. And then this is going to ask you your carb and fat preference. So I typically do the balance between, but that's something, again, we can always go in and change later. This isn't going to be set in stone. But if you like to eat a lot of carbs, then click a lot of carbs. If you like to eat a lot of fatty foods, eat a lot of fatty foods. So I'm just going to stick with balance. And then I'm going to put in my full name here, put in my birthday. So this is also important. Whatever email address I sent that invite to is the email that you need to use when registering, because then you will be linked under my coaching account. If you don't do this properly, I will not be able to see your data. I created an account using that email and then set up my password, and now it's asking me to grant access and provider oversight. It's very important that you click yes for all of these. Otherwise, again, it's not going to give me viewing permissions, and I can't go into your food tracker and give you feedback on what it is you're actually eating. So after we're done with that, we'll go ahead and click save. Okay, so now it calculated these numbers for me. I said I wanted to lose 20 pounds. I want to go from 190 to 170. at 1.7 pounds per week. And it's saying it's going to take me approximately 12 weeks to do that. And now I have my macros and calories. So 174 protein, 205 carb, 72 fat, and we're going to be eating 2168 calories per day. So now we can click OK, let's go, and it's going to take us to the homepage. Okay, so we are now on the dashboard, which we're going to go through first, but you can see March 16th, it logged a check-in, which is the one that we just did. It tells us our macros, it tells us what our weight was, and then also what our body fat percentage was. So as you start to pile up these check-ins and go through this each week, you'll be able to scroll up and down and sort of go through and see all of your previous check-in history. So if you click on view more, that's going to show you your weight. But what's really important here, and I want you guys to hear this part is absolutely critical. I need you to go into this hamburger menu up here, go to advanced features, and then click log daily weights and turn that on. Okay, that needs to be enabled. The reason being is because if we only weigh in once per week, that's not going to give the calorie calculating weight loss robot the most accurate representation of what is actually happening for our weight. So now that I did that, you can see that there is a log daily weight button in the top right, and that is what you're going to be using each and every day to log your weight into this app. You can also go to the analysis tab so you can see what your weight is doing, what your body fat percentage is doing, and what your lean body mass is doing over time. Something else you'll notice on the dashboard is in the top left, it's telling you how many days you have until check-in. So be mindful of this. Again, I most likely will send this invite to you on Sunday. So you set it up on Sunday, and now moving forward, every single Sunday is going to be your check-in day. So by the time next Sunday rolls around, this check-in button that's sort of like not blacked out right now, but you can see you're not able to click it, that button is going to turn red and remind you that it's time to complete your check-in. And it's very important that you do this every single week. I don't want you to not click that button and go like 2 months on end without doing a check-in, okay? If you want to see what some of your previous weigh-ins were for this week, you can just click the view more, and then those should be populated in there. The only other thing on the dashboard is if you click that black box with the scale inside of it, it'll pull up this interface, and you can click on upload photo, and then from there you can just choose something from your photo library or take a photo, a progress photo for yourself there, or you can use the 3D avatar model again. If you want to upload your progress photos into Avatar, that's totally fine, but I would request that you do it in Everfit as well, just because Everfit does have a little bit better comparison feature, so I can actually stack them side by side and give you more meaningful feedback in Everfit as well. So if you do put them in here, make sure you put them into Everfit as well. So that's pretty much it for the dashboard tab. If we come over to tracker, we can now see that it's showing us our targets for protein, carbs, and fats. So obviously we haven't tracked anything yet, so that's why it's showing all zeros. If you see across the top here, right in the middle, there's a button that says show averages. So if I click that, what it's actually going to do is show me the averages throughout the week. Adding food in this app is really easy. All you gotta do is click add food, and then up here you can just type in something like jumbo egg, click return, and then it'll bring it up. So I'll click on that, and then you can change the number of servings, right? So let's say I had 3 eggs this morning. Something you can do is if you click along the numbers across the top, you can actually come in here and change the serving size and change the macros. So like, let's say for whatever reason, like your jumbo eggs don't have that many protein or carbs, you can always come in here and change that, but we'll just exit out of that for now. So let's say I had 3 eggs, I can click add item, then we can exit out of that. I'll come back to the tracker, and now we can see that that populated for our protein and our fat. Let's say I eat jumbo eggs a lot and I really don't want to have to search for it every single time. What you can do is click on that food, and then you can click on that star in the top right corner, and that's going to add that to your favorites. So if I come back to the tracker, for example, I'll just click on lunch, and then let's say I want to add eggs as well. I can go to favorites, and you can see that those are already populated in there. All I have to do is click eggs again, come back, and they're now in there for lunch. Another good way to move food around in the app is that you can just take your thumb and hold on the item, and you can see I can drag it to lunch, dinner, snacks, wherever you want it. So I'll just put it in breakfast. But let's say I want to copy that same food item. All you have to do is swipe to the right, and it'll add that entry again. So then let's say I want to move that down to lunch or dinner. You can see that that's been done. And then let's say I want to delete a food item. All you have to do is swipe to the left. You'll see that trash can, and it gives you a little bit of time to undo. So if you click undo, it will put that food item back, but I don't want that there, so I'm just going to swipe to the left. Another way to add food would be the scanning feature. So I'll just click add food again. I'll click scan in the top right, and then let's say you have something handy. So I'm just going to do some peanut butter, but you can see we're just going to scan that real quick. And again, that pops up and you'll see it's got the 2 tablespoons in there. If you want to use grams, you can do that, or ounces as well. Maybe you're using a food scale, so you can go in and adjust the amount, and then you just click add item for that. And now the peanut butter should be in our food log as well. Another option to add food would be adding custom food. So you'd go to add food, and then you click this pencil in the top right corner. So let's say I want to put this in for lunch, and then let's say I had a Chipotle burrito. So I'll put that in there. I'll just make up some numbers. Let's say I had 65 grams of protein, 100 carbs, 50 grams of fat. Then you could put in the serving size. So we'll say 1. And you can do grams or ounces or custom unit name. So let's say I just want to put in a burrito. Click save. And now it's going to say 1 burrito when I save that. So then I come back here, you can see now in lunch, there's a Chipotle burrito and it's got custom macros. Another cool feature is the ability to copy meals over from this day to other days. So let's say I want to copy that Chipotle burrito over. I'd click copy meal, and then what I can do is click, now it's showing it's Thursday. Let's say I want to have that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. I can click all 3 of those dates and click copy to 3 dates, click on lunch. And then if I go to the next couple of days, you can see that that is automatically populated there. So this is really useful if you're someone like me who meal preps. I meal prep on Sunday. I track all of my food on Sunday, and then I literally just copy that over for the rest of the week, and I don't have to touch this app again unless I eat something outside of what's already been tracked. Something else that I want you to notice is that across the top, you can see there's blue rings and a red ring right now. So blue means that you are under on that macro. Red means that you're over. So you can see on fat right now we have 84 out of 72. And then what happens is if you add more, so let's copy this Chipotle burrito again. Now there's an option for green rings, and that means we're in target. So you can see that on that circle, there's a little like range in there for you to be within these macros. So if you're green, that means you are compliant. So again, the goal here is to be compliant, have green rings across the board every day for the entirety of the week. Or if you don't have green rings every single day, at least your averages for the week are green, and then that's when you can click compliant in your check-in. I will have a future module on what to eat to actually hit your macros, but I did want to show you this cool feature. You can come in to add food, recipes, and then from there, let's say you wanted a breakfast or maybe a lunch, dinner, dessert, appetizer, or snack. Let's say you had no dinner ideas, so I can click on this and I can literally scroll through here, and Avatar has a ton of recipes in here that you can make, and the macros and calories are already in there for you. Let's say I'm gonna do this easy, cheesy, baked burrito casserole. I'll click on that. And now you can see if I do add this to my food log, all of my circles are now red. So that's kind of your indicator. If you go to add something that's like, hey, maybe I shouldn't eat this because it's gonna put me over on all of my macros for the day. Another cool feature in Avatar is that if you do choose to consume alcohol while going through this program, you can click add food, click on food in the top right, click on alcohol, and then come to branded. And then you can literally search whatever drink you want. So let's just say you're doing a Bud Light. We can just click on that. And then what's cool is that it has this carb and fat slider. So we'll go over this in a future module, but essentially you can slide it all the way to the right, and that would give you 100% of your calories tracked from that alcohol as fats. Or if you slide it all the way to the left, it'd give you 100% of those calories due to carbs, or you can just leave it in the middle as like 50-50. So if I add that, we can see, I'll go back to my homepage, boom, it's in there. Because what happens is if you try to do it in the normal way and you just search Bud Light through food, it's not gonna give you the actual accurate value for that, and you're gonna be tracking and missing calories. So now we've pretty much covered the dashboard and the tracker. I just wanna walk you through this hamburger menu in the top left, so I'll go ahead and click that now. If I scroll down, we can see there's high and low days. So let's say there's certain days that I'm going to be training and certain days that are rest days. And on training days, I want to have more calories. I can go through and click on these and say what days I want as higher days. And then I can basically say like, okay, I want less that day or more that day. And it's going to auto adjust all of your calories and macros for those days. I personally don't use that just because I eat the same thing every day, but some people find that to be a really cool feature. You can add friends if you want. So you can add me, you can add other people within the group here. And then that way, you know, if you're out and you're tracking stuff together, you can like share recipes between each other and just like text them to each other, which is cool. They have an intermittent fasting window. So if that's something you follow, you can basically set a timer with notifications within this app. If I come down to diet, we can see there's no diet restrictions. We got our carb and fat preference. Something that you may have to end up doing is clicking this protein boost here. So you can see right now it's suggesting I have 174, but if we want to bump that up, we can slide that all the way to the right, and that would give us like 217 grams of protein per day. So you want to be eating around 1 gram per pound of body weight, or maybe slightly under that. So if you aren't at that level after doing your setup, then you can come in and use this feature and adjust your protein so that you're a little bit closer to that 1 gram per pound mark. The last thing to go over is the advanced features section then. So if I click that, you can see high and low days are here again. So we've already gone over that. Vacation mode is like, let's say you're going on vacation, you know you're not going to track for a week. You can just flip this on, and then whatever day you come back and turn this back on, it's going to auto register a check-in. So it's going to force you to do a check-in. So I would say if you do this, like let's say you go on vacation for a week, I would turn this back on Sunday. So that way it restores Sunday as your default check-in day, and then you can just track for the upcoming week. Then we already did log daily weights, but again, this is absolutely critical. You need to turn this feature on. Make sure log daily weights is enabled. Otherwise, it's not going to give you the most accurate weigh-in data, and the calorie calculating weight loss robot is going to give you pretty wacky calorie suggestions, and we don't want that. And then the last feature within this tab is the daily macro adjustments. So let's say you went over one day. This is basically the robot coming in and saying, okay, I recognize that you're over. What I'm going to do is change your calories and macros for the remainder of the week. So that way it'll give you those new targets. And as long as you hit those, you'll be compliant at the end of the week. Before we end this video lesson, I do just want to reiterate one really important point. You need to have log daily weights enabled. All right. I've stressed that enough in this video. It's probably like the third or fourth time that I've told you, but it's so critical that you have that feature on. There you have it, guys. Everything you could possibly want to know about the Avatar Nutrition app and how to use that app to make your weight loss journey that much easier. Before we part ways, if you're interested in learning more about the Physique Lab Coaching Program and how we use apps just like this one in the video today and how we're able to get our clients such amazing results, then go ahead and click the link down in the video description below. I'll also put the thumbnail down here just in case you go to my YouTube channel and you're looking for it. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and turn those notification bells on so you don't miss when I post new videos. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.